Hello everyone and welcome to the Knitting Pastor Vlogcast. I am your host Heather and I am a United Methodist pastor of two small member congregations in rural mid-Michigan, and I am coming to you today, Saturday, September 19th, from my home, which is the parsonage, which is a home owned by one of the churches, where I live with my two children, Abby, who is 15, and Philip, who is 10, and our Rhodesian Ridgeback, Flint. It has been quite a while since I have recorded or posted anything, and I wanted to just come on and kind of give you guys an update of what has been going on. This isn't going to be the standard format that I usually use, because if you can't tell by my voice, I've actually been quite ill for about 2 months now. And so I wanted to just pop on and kind of let you guys know that I'm alive and that I'm, still here, and just kind of update you. These are going to be like shorter clips because my voice only lasts for so long and I get tired out pretty quickly speaking. I wanted to just start by telling you what has been going on. I got sick towards the end of July with a sore throat, a cough, shortness of breath, fatigue, a lot of the COVID-19 symptoms. And I was very sick for about 2 weeks. The kids stayed away and they were in isolation. I was tested for COVID, but it came back negative. After about 2 weeks, I started to feel better. And I still didn't feel anywhere near 100%, but I felt like I was improving. And so they had said that we still had to treat things like I was COVID positive, just to be safe. And so after I had been starting to feel a little bit better for about a week, the kids came back home. And a few days after the kids got home, I started to feel pretty poorly again, but not sick as much as, the shortness of breath increased. The fatigue that I was experiencing and still am experiencing was like through the roof. The cough persisted. And yeah, I still don't have a voice. So this has been going on now for about 2 months. The only improvement I've really seen in that period of time is that I have stopped coughing. But I still sound like this. I still have some of the most extreme fatigue I have ever experienced in my life. I get so worn out so quickly. And tired isn't even the right word to describe all of this. Tired doesn't do it justice. And I get short of breath pretty quickly and I can't speak. So I have not been able to be in my churches. I've not been able to preach. I've not been able to really do much of anything. And so that's kind of where I am at. I am working with some specialists. I have an appointment again next week to see if we can get to the bottom of what is going on. No one wants to say that these are like post-clinical COVID issues because no one wants to say that I had COVID. My test was negative. I had 2 tests and they were both negative. And so the doctors all say that no, that's not what this is. But all of the nurses and all of the technicians all say that this is exactly what this looks like. So we don't know. I don't know. I'm very frustrated. I'm very discouraged. But I wanted to just kind of update all of you on what was going on. So throughout the rest of this video, they're going to be short clips. I'll let you know kind of what's been going on with the kids. I'll show you my knitting, and that will probably be about it. And I'll do that as best as I possibly can. I do apologize for sound quality because it is really hard for me to speak and to project. So I apologize for that. So to give you just kind of an update on what's been going on as far as our lives, other than me not being well, 2 weeks ago, September 8th, the Tuesday after Labor Day, my kids started school. Their district has decided to be 100% online. It's a very large district, and so they decided that it was not going to be feasible for them to provide safely for the kids in this time of the coronavirus pandemic. And I was kind of relieved that this was the decision that was made, because I didn't really know how I felt about sending them back to school. And with the number of outbreaks that have happened at universities and in other schools, I'm glad that this is the decision that the district made. It is structured much, much better than it was in the spring. So there is consistency every day, and they're actually getting lessons, and it's kind of like a school day. It's all very weird, for sure, but it's the way things are. If I'm being completely honest, I would not be surprised if this is how the whole school year is going to be. So Philip has started 5th grade, and he has Zoom meetings twice a day, and then 3 days a week he has what they call specials, which are music and art and physical education. And then he has things that he is working on in between those Zoom meetings. And some of it he has to use the computer, and some of it is offline. And they kind of alternate between the two so that they're not spending like hours sitting at the computer. He definitely misses his friends and that sort of social interaction. And right now for him, there isn't really any extracurricular stuff going on that he can be involved in. Abby, who's 15, started her sophomore year of high school. And her structure is more similar, in my opinion, to the way college is structured. They still have their 5 classes, and sometimes they meet online, sometimes they just have videos to watch on their own, sometimes they have small groups. But she does have diving. They are diving, and they do have a season. Her first meet is going to be on Thursday, so the 24th of September. So she has been able to get some social interaction that way, and that has been really, really nice for her, especially as a teenager. They need their friends. And I feel comfortable with all of that because they are in a pool. You know, they're jumping in and out of highly chlorinated water regularly. It's not a contact sport, and they do social distance when they're there. They were just able to get back into the pool last week for the first time. They had been doing outdoor workouts prior to that, working on core mainly. So that has been a positive thing for her. They will not be busing to meets. Meets will not be large. I have no idea what it's going to be like to go and watch those meets, if we'll be allowed in or how all that's going to work. I guess we will find that out next week. So that's kind of what's been going on for them. So I thought I would take a few moments and show you what I've been working on knitting-wise since I have been ill. I have a decent pile of knitting here. A lot of it is stuff that had already been started before I had gotten sick. And then there's a couple of things that I've started and finished, and then what I'm currently working on. Knitting has been really spotty through all of this. As I had mentioned, fatigue is one of the major things that's holding me back. And there have definitely been times where knitting has felt way too taxing to even do. So while it seems like there's a lot here, it's also been 2 months, and a lot of this stuff was already started before I got sick. So what I'm going to start with, I actually finished at the end of June, and I had kind of talked about this for those of you who have watched for a while. And it was like a secret knitting project that I was working on, and I didn't want to show it in case it ruined a surprise. And it is a sweater that I made for my daughter Abby. This is the sweater. It is called Starfall, and it is from Jennifer Stienglass, who is Knit Love Wool on Instagram and Ravelry, and it is my first adult colorwork sweater. I'm going to try and insert a picture of Abby wearing it. It was a gift that I gave her for her birthday, which was on Tuesday, and she absolutely loved it, and she put it on right away. But anyway, this is the yoke. This is knit all out of Knit Picks Swish DK. I went with that because I wasn't sure on size, and it was my first colorwork sweater, and I didn't want to ruin it with really nice yarn, so I thought I would give it a try. But Abby loves it, so this is it. Don't ask me the colors because I don't remember. But it has a cool thing. It's got colorwork on the sleeves, and then as well here on the hem. So I knit her the smallest size because Abby is tiny. And yeah, she really, really loves it. So that is that secret knitting project that I have been working on, or that I started working on really kind of when the pandemic began, and finished in June. The other obvious project I did start and finish, and it's this one that I am wearing right now. I'm going to kind of stand up a little bit so you can see it. This is the Igneous sweater by Mina Phillip. And it is, the pattern fades out as you go up. And so I really enjoyed knitting this. This was kind of my, I feel terrible, so I'm going to buy some yarn. So this is the yarn. It is from LolaBean Yarn Company, and the colorway is called Calming. And it was perfect thing to work on and knit while I was not feeling well. The pattern gave it, enough interest that it kept you going, but then there was stockinette portions as well, and it was just really exactly what I needed, and I'm really pleased with the fit, and Abby really likes it, and she wants to steal it. So the first thing that I finished when I was ill, I had been working on before I got sick, and that was Helen Stewart's Stillness MKAL. And I did finish that, and I've blocked it. I don't have the ends woven in though. But this is it. This is the finished Stillness Shawl by Helen Stewart. And I'm really pleased with how it turned out. The yarn is from Birch fibers. I can't remember the colorway names off the top of my head. You can go look at my Ravelry page for that, or you can also go back a video and that will show you what all these colorways are. But anyway, I like how the colors played together. I like how it all turned out. I always enjoy Helen Stewart's patterns. She writes things very, very well, and really details things quite a bit. So I really enjoy her patterns, which you will see because I finished 2 pairs of socks. I put one of each on a sock blocker. I didn't put both because I didn't figure that was necessary. But these I also finished. These are the last 2 socks in the Handmade Sock Society season 3. These are the Vapour socks. And this is a colorway that I had dyed myself. And then these are the Altitude socks, which I loved knitting these. These were perfect for not feeling well. They were just absolutely perfect. This yarn that I used is from Molly of a Homespun House, and it's called Sirius's Gift. It was one of the Harry Potter Club colorways from a couple of years ago. And then the contrasting color is just some dark brown that I had. So I finished both of those pairs of socks. And then I started knitting a pair of socks for my mom out of yarn from Legacy Fiber Arts. And I finished the first sock. I did not start the second one right away because I wanted my mom to try it on and make sure it fit her. My mom has really severe rheumatoid arthritis, and getting her shoes and socks on is really a challenge for her. So it was really important that the cuff stretched a lot and that she was easily able to get it like bunched up like this to get on her foot and then over her heel. So I will tell you what I did. She wears a US women's size 9, just for some perspective for you. So I did a 2x2 rib, which is not my usual cuff, but it's stretchier. So I did that with a German longtail cast on, so that it's nice and stretchy. And then I cast on 72 stitches, and I went up a needle size. So I used a US 2, which is, let me look and see, I can't remember what the millimeter is. A 2.75 millimeter needle. I usually use a 2.5 millimeter needle for my own socks and 64 stitches. So I increased my stitch count and I went up a needle size. I guess it's half of a needle size. So that's how I did that. And then I just knit for 1 inch because she likes her socks to be short. And I did a fish lips kiss heel. And then I just knit the foot and did a rounded toe. And they fit her really well. The length is perfect. She's able to get them on. It's great. So I'm going to cast on the second sock for her. And since I was waiting for that, I needed another pair of vanilla socks. So I just cast on some leftovers that I had. This is leftovers from the Vapour socks. And then this is some hedgehog fiber that I had laying around. I can't tell you what the colorway is, but I'm almost done with the leg. I had 50 grams of this, so I have enough to do a pair of socks with contrasting heels, cuffs, and toes. So I am almost to the heel. I've got like one more round and I'm on the heel. So those are my socks. And then the other thing that I am currently knitting on, because after the sweater, I just needed a really nice palette cleanser. And it's a really good stash buster. And this is Stephen West's Spring Cleaning Shawl. And it is the perfect palette cleanser because it is all short rows and, well, that's not the palette cleanser, but it's all garter stitch and short rows. And so here is my Spring Cleaning Shawl. You use, the first half of it uses up scraps. So like these first 4 wedges use up scraps. And it's all modular, so you knit, the wedges, and so it doesn't feel like it goes on forever. And then this section that I just finished, this used a lot more yarn. This was more like 70 grams of yarn, while these other ones were closer to like 20 to 30. And I am now on my 6th wedge right here, which is this yarn. Actually, all of this yarn except for this is yarn from a Homespun House. This was A Christmas at Hogwarts. I don't remember what this one was called. This was also A Christmas at Hogwarts. I cannot remember this yarn. This was from a Harry Potter Yarn and Charm Club. I think this was Night Bus, and then this is a Halloween at Hogwarts colorway. And my other one is also a Molly colorway, but it is not Hogwarts. I don't have it here with me. So there'll be, let's see if I can kind of do this. So there'll be one more. So this section is half. This wedge is half, and then there'll be one more color that will go on this side, and then it will be an I-cord bind off. So if you've got scraps, if you've got you know, some random skeins of yarn that kind of go together, you want to bust through stash, I would really recommend this. It's really mindless. It's a great palette cleanser. It just has really been what I needed to work on that was just really mindless. So that is my knitting, and that is all that has been going on with me in the last couple of months. I'm going to wrap this up here. Like I said, this is a little bit different than what I usually do. I usually have multiple shorter videos, but this is more of a traditional podcast style, simply because I don't really have a lot of energy to record throughout the week right now, and there's not necessarily a whole lot going on, because I just really don't feel very well. But I wanted to just let you know that I'm okay. I'm alive, I'm hanging in there, and this is what I have been up to. So I will talk to you guys again. I'm not sure when I will try to record again. It might be in a couple of weeks. It might be longer than that. But I am here. I'm hanging in there, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.